let's get some perspective from someone who knows, okay? Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, now called War, Chris Mellon, who has been on the front lines in the fight for UAP transparency. Chris, always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So where is the cynicometer on whether or not this time we will get what is promised and it will be a meaningful delivery?
It's a very awkward situation because the president has made clear he values protecting classified information, but he's also said he wants to release this UFO information, all of which happens to be classified. So people in the bureaucracy are caught in the middle of this, trying to sort out where to draw the line, what to release, how to release it, to whom to release it, to the public, to Congress, some to each. So I don't think this is going to happen overnight. It's a significant body of information. They're going to have to review these files one at a time, case by case, within their different organizations. I'm hopeful. All of us, my associates and colleagues, of course, support transparency and to the maximum degree possible, consistent with national security. So we're hoping this is going to be very meaningful and extensive, but we're also under the impression it is going to take a while, and it is not necessarily going to be as extensive as many people might want to see.
Here's the weird thing, or one weird thing. How do you explain it to so many in the media and even in Congress and in positions of power who believe that this is a complete farce, that there is nothing there? How do you deal with them believing that when at the same time they won't release any information because they say it's classified and they can't do it without violating national security? If it's a nothing burger, why wouldn't they just come out and say, look, I don't know where you people got all this craziness from on the internet, but here's what it is. Here's what we're looking at. And there's nothing here. Move on.
Yeah, the simple answer is it's not a nothing burger. It is categorically a real thing, a very real thing. And the people that take the time to listen to and speak with our F-18 pilots and other military personnel who've had firsthand encounters, talk to the radio operators, talk to the radio technicians and so forth, you come to realize pretty quickly that this is very much for real. And not only that, there's a lot of activity that's occurring over and around our military facilities. And in some cases, it's very brazen. We had weeks of activities by unidentified craft over Langley Air Force Base, for example, and the Air Force was not able to identify those craft, where they were coming from, who was controlling them. None of them malfunctioned. None of them fell from the sky, as often happens with drones. That has happened at many U.S. bases now and over U.S. ships off the coast.
Right.
And those are just, that's one subset of a larger picture that involves a lot of other strange things, triangular craft, orbs, and other things that are being filmed by the Defense Department, which they cannot explain. So the fact is they have a considerable amount of data, and they have had since World War II, and the body of data is growing. We're up to now thousands of reports in just the last few years since Congress passed legislation saying we want you to keep track of this. In that short period, that's just military reports. That doesn't include civilian reports.
Civilian reports.
It's a very real issue, and it's a very concerning issue.
Chris, we don't know enough yet, but just give me a quick take. Are the disappearances of these personnel either missing or dead under curious circumstances, do you believe that there is a relationship worth pursuing?
I do not believe there is common cause among all the names that have been mentioned. I don't think there's a single hand that has produced all of these tragic
responsible
fatalities.
For all of them.
Right. I do not believe that, but I do think there is a subset that is certainly worth investigating. And the FBI is doing that, to my understanding. I'm glad to hear that. When people like Matthew Sullivan die in the way he did unexpectedly just before he was going to testify, I think that reaches a threshold that you say, yeah, somebody should look at this.
Christopher Mellon, I appreciate you as always. Thank you for making time. You're always welcome. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.